Good morning to everyone here from Vienna, from Energy Community Secretariat. My name is Carolina Ceger and I work as a senior gas expert here in the Secretariat for quite some time. By background, I am petroleum engineer, but I added master program in renewables. So all about gases being fossil or renewable. With few words, I would like to actually introduce to you why we are here today and what is all about. So it's a webinar based on our distribution system operators platform. This is what we had for several years. And then by following always the legislation, because legislation is the main basis of Energy Community Secretariat, we end up actually in adding more and more legislation and more requirements towards gas companies. I mean, here are listed, but you would know them as well. So from all this unbundling and communication between different stakeholders, between different operators, on national level, on international level, implementing the same network codes. It was complex enough from legislative point of view and from practical point of view. And then more and more elements were added. So at first place, of course, hydrogen and low carbon gases, how to be integrated and how they will change the operation system and how actually stakeholders are communicating from distribution level more to transmission level and vice versa, and connecting all sources and all different type of gases and all different type of customers with different requirements. Then, of course, this is 10E regulation with this infrastructure developments requirements, then methane emission regulation, which is still not mandatory in the contracting parties, but it will come and it's already sufficiently complex. So what is how to monitor, how to mitigate all these emissions, how to compare the data, how to keep the data, how to analyze data, and of course, how to repair as fast as and efficient as possible. Security of supply is, of course, issue, and how to manage all these requirements related to gas quality, because flows are changing and quality is different. And then, of course, with biomethane and with other renewable gases and with hydrogen to come, then gas sustainability also how to be proven. So this is that how we started to think about that actually is webinar might be of use. The one actually going into the practical knowledge, into practical implementation of all these requirements which are already in front of the gas industry. And yes, future is already here. I mean, we want it or not, but and keeping this natural gas market requirements in the head and structure and future. Nevertheless, everything is going slowly with or without legislation. Let's put it that way. I mean, for contracting parties already. Renewable and energy action plans and energy and climate plans, putting this sustainability and all this renewable energy and electrification in place. Digitalization is coming anyhow, like in energy, like in all layers of life. Then how all these systems can interface, being in planning and being actually in operation as such. But this is more to illustrate why we started with this webinar. It started last year, taking pace, and we were discussing many things, but actually related in particular to measurement and to gas quality. But area is enormous. Issues are popping up, and there are many. So we pick up to come today with very practical tool, I would say, to be presented, because for all these requirements, from repair to keeping the data and analyzing the data, there are many, many technologies and tools around, and sometimes it's even very difficult to find out what is actually the proper tool and proper technology to solve the problem or to fulfill requirements. That's why today Mr. Eric Nieveld will present technology Catalogue.com, very useful platform with many features. You will hear in a second. But this is really tool to provide the systematic approach to technology solutions which are already there, and for many different issues which are just approaching to the gas industry, being in EU or in contracting parties. So with that, I will thank to all of you for joining. We will have slides and recording afterwards uploaded on our website. You always can approach to me. You can always approach, of course, to Eric, and then you can share, of course, with your colleagues what you find out or what you will find out today. So stop sharing, and with that, Eric, please, floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Carolina, for the introduction. And it's great to have the opportunity to present the knowledge sharing platform to you all. Let me share my screen. I'll start with a couple of slides, and after that I'll also give you a demo of the platform and show you how private companies, but also organizations in the public sector use the platform. So let me share the slides. If correct, you can see them on the screen now. Can you indeed see them, Carolina?
Yes, they are clearly visible. All is fine.
Excellent. So let me start with a little bit about my own background. I worked most of my working life at Shell for about 20 years, essentially always in roles related to technology deployment. I started technologycatalogue.com in 2018, building on the experience over the years in Shell. And as we all know, the world needs energy, affordable, reliable, and sustainable energy. And this energy will come from a mix of sources. But what's also certainly the case is that the development and operations of energy assets comes with many challenges, and such as working towards net zero while maintaining production levels or remaining profitable, but also certainly how to integrate digital solutions and many more. And professionals are therefore constantly on the outlook for technologies to address the challenges. But how to identify the right technologies, that is really challenging. I also can say that from my own experience, based on many years working for an operating company. In my last role at Shell, I was globally responsible for identifying third-party technologies and to get those deployed and replicated in the assets. And identifying the technologies is incredibly difficult. It takes time. It takes quite a bit of effort to find information such as deployment references, but also information that you need to convince yourself and your colleagues and to benchmark yourself against other companies. And for suppliers, it's equally difficult. Suppliers struggle as well. It's difficult for a supplier to get an entry in a large energy company, get access to decision makers. The sales cycle are complex, inefficient, expensive. Of course, exhibitions help to an extent and other channels that suppliers can use. Exhibitions are, of course, great, but at times, but they're also expensive, takes time. And that all triggered us to launch this platform, technologycatalog.com, and I'll give you a demo of it after I've gone through a few more slides. We use platforms for many things in our daily life, to find hotels, for example, and other things. But for technology, such a platform didn't exist. Therefore, together with another colleague, I started this 7 years ago. Suppliers use the platform to create visibility and to generate leads. And end user companies use it to identify the most relevant solutions for their challenges. What you see at the bottom is a selection of logos of our customers in the public and private sectors. On the left, you also see a couple of examples of governmental organizations like the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the Netherlands. And another example is the NSTA, the North Sea Transition Authority, which is the regulator in the UK. And just to zoom in a little bit on how the way the NSTA uses this platform as a governmental organization. And what you see here are 2 screenshots of press releases they made. The NSTA demands from every operator in the UK that they submit a technology plan every year, but they also encourage and push the operators to apply technologies to help production, but also to support the net zero goals. The NSTA saw this platform and they quickly realized that the platform could help them to achieve their goals and the goals of the operators and the suppliers. And therefore, for a period of time, they sponsored this platform. As part of the agreement, anyone in the UK had access to the platform, and also suppliers could upload their solutions on the platform, and this way helping to make the matches with potential customers. So the knowledge sharing was really accelerated as a result of the NSTA involvement. So this is just one example, and there are other examples that I could give. The platform has a global user base. There are literally users from around the globe. We're based in the Netherlands, therefore we see a large user base in Western Europe. The UK has actually a very large user base, and many companies use it, and certainly the role that the NSTA has played has helped us as well. But also users from many other parts of the world, and over 2,000 different companies use the platform. And just to say a few words on the way we work with suppliers, because that's often one of the first questions that comes up. Actually, any supplier can join this platform at no cost. So we create no hurdles for suppliers to join this platform. We also offer paid plans, but in a sense, the structure, the way it works is no different from exhibitions where you also have different plans, but anyone can join the platform. So therefore, whether the company is a small startup or a large company, there are no hurdles. And actually, besides what I show here for the suppliers, also the way we work with end users, any individual can join this platform at no cost. And besides that, we also offer paid plans, but we make the entry as easy as possible and such that anyone can use this platform for knowledge sharing. So this to set the scene a little bit, what I suggest I do now is that I share my screen, the platform screen. So I'll stop sharing my slides. And what I'll do now is to share the platform. If correct, you can now see the homepage of the platform.
Yes, we can see it. So please go on.
Excellent. So what you see here is indeed the homepage, and the homepage explains a bit what we do. Actually, one of the features, and I'll say a bit more about it, is that Companies that use this platform can share challenges and this way seek solutions. I'll get back to that. We also run webinars, and actually the homepage also explains a short video that explains the platform in 1 minute. Anyone can sign up to the platform. And again, by signing up, there's no charge to that. Anyone can join the platform with a free starter account. I already have a login account, obviously, so I can go ahead and log in. The moment I'm on the platform, I will have access to my own personal homepage, and this homepage can be customized. And like with any platform, I can customize things by, for example, setting my own areas of interest, but also by receiving the type of notifications that I want to get. And from here, I can search for solutions. So what you see here is the menu. The menu structures the way you can access the solutions. Solutions can actually appear on the multiple categories. From here, I can, for example, go to health, safety, and environment. And one of the categories that you see here is emission monitoring. And the moment I click on there, I see over 90 solutions, which is a lot. I can sort them by relevance. For example, show me in the order of number of deployments, and those technologies that have most deployment references are shown first. I can also use some advanced filters, and actually these advanced filters, those are only available for companies that have subscribed, but we are happy to give any company a free trial to use the platform. And from here, I can, for example, say, hey, I'm particularly interested to see which solutions have been deployed by BP or any other company. And yeah, if I reflect back on my days in Shell, favorite questions that I always asked to suppliers was, favorite question was, hey, tell me what you did for BP, Exxon, or other operators, because a very high chance that it also applies to my company. And for those of you in the audience working for operators, there are no doubt companies that you look at and that you're curious to see what they've deployed. And yeah, very often that information is very difficult to get. For large companies, it's already difficult to know what has been used within your own company. I can also say from experience, not to speak knowing what others have done. And here you have that type of information at your fingertips. And from here, I can click on the solution like this one in the top left. Every solution has the same structure. It shows the maturity level. It gives information about the solution. Actually, the supplier maintains the solution, and you can see when the page was last updated. All this information is delivered by the supplier, including the contact details. Users can contact the supplier directly, and it's also important to note that we as a platform do not work on a commission basis. So the moment a user contacts a supplier and it results in a deal, good for those parties. It helps helps the assets or projects in their journeys, and but no commission payment to us. We also ask supplier to indicate specifications, the relative business impact, and the relative business impact, it's a rough indication, and I can show you later on how that information is being used. We ask supplier to distribute 10 points across 4 areas: CO2 reduction, cost reduction, production, and safety. So this is a rough indication, and in this case, the supplier clearly says that most impact is being made as a result of emission reductions. And we then also ask the supplier to indicate which companies have deployed the solution. And these deployment references act as the checks and balances. So I can go back and click on another example, but what you'll see is no matter which example I click, they're always presented in the same format. Actually, one of the things that we provide our users is also a clever way to search information on the platform. The platform content is growing rapidly. By now, there are already over 2,700 solutions. We thereby add technologies based on the business needs of our customers. So that's why you see more solutions in some areas than in others. But in order to find the information, I go back to my own toolbox environment by clicking on the little icon in the top right. And one of the things that we make available to our users is Steve, our AI assistant. So Steve helps to screen the platform content. Actually, let me copy paste an example. Actually, it's a real example, but that was posted by one of our customers, a customer looking for gas leak detection for buried gas pipelines. And it helps Steve to add in a little bit more detail. And I can then press the button. Steve takes usually about a minute or so to then scan the platform. And the moment Steve has done his job, he will recommend up to 6 solutions, sometimes less if there are insufficient number of solutions on the platform. And if there are more, Steve makes a selection. So Steve has done his job here. Steve says, well, based on the description, he can recommend a specific solution. And Steve also says why that is. So Steve says in quite some detail why he believes this specific solution is the best one. And you, based on this information, you can click on all these solutions. So if I would just click on the top left, I would go straight to the page on the platform again, always in the same template, and having the information always in the same template. Yeah, it helps with the screening just as well that a page on a platform like booking.com always has the same structure, such that that within 20 seconds you can see whether a solution is potentially of benefit, whether it's worth doing a deep dive. And also people that are very busy, they can quickly see whether this is of interest. And what you see here as well is a review from, actually multiple reviews from independent users. And like this person named Mark Lambrecht. I don't know Mark, but Mark, like anyone else, is not going to put his or her credibility on the line. And the fact that Mark says this is great and all these companies have deployed it, that is a clear trigger to then think, hey, this may also be a solution for us. And if a solution provider doesn't have any references, yeah, as a user, you can ask for them. And if a supplier is not able to provide any references or reviews, yeah, that would not be convincing. The moment they can give reviews, yeah, that helps in the selection. And this review process also works for technologies that are still under development. So even if a technology is new, there's no reason why a supplier can't attract a review from an independent expert. In case you can't find what you're looking for on the platform, then users can submit challenges. So let me make it a little bit larger. So these are the current challenges that are live. Companies can post them anonymously or by name. So you see some examples of challenges posted by name. You also see challenge here from an anonymous client. That's up to the challenge owner. But whatever way they choose, the challenge information is provided by the challenge owner. It's up to the challenge owner how much detail they want to include. In this case, a couple of paragraphs were included, but you can be as explicit as you want. For example, if you're working for an operator in Eastern Europe, you can say, hey, we're particularly interested in solutions that other operators in Eastern Europe have already deployed, or you can even mention specific company names, or you can say, well, we're particularly interested in novel solutions, please submit those. So it's really up to the challenge owner. And typically within a couple of days or within a week, you get multiple solutions proposed, and the proposals come in different ways. Suppliers contact you via the platform to you, so we don't reveal the email address of the challenge owner, but the initial correspondence goes via the platform. If as a next step you want to use your own email, that's of course perfectly fine, but initially it goes via the platform. And typically within a week you get multiple solutions. So in this case there were 11 proposed solutions. Some of those solutions can be proposed by the supplier. You also see these solutions here that have this label exclusive content. It's exclusive because only people that have a subscription with us can see those entries. But what you see here as an example of this exclusive content is that we created this page using AI. So we help the challenge owner by immediately creating a suitable solution. In parallel, we're now approaching the supplier and say, hey, you can claim this page. There's no cost to you, but you can claim this page to take ownership. And this way, supplementing the information that's missing with information. But the challenge owner, they like this. They don't need to wait. They immediately get access to multiple solutions. And just to finish off with one other thing that we do, and also linking it to the information that we provide, that we request from suppliers about the business impact. If I go straight back to the toolbox again, I also see what's called an Insights Navigator. This Insights Navigator, this is a demo environment, but with real data. In this case, it's from the perspective of Chevron, but the moment we do this for a company, it's from their perspective. If I, for example, click on stay within this category and say data management or collection, it would show an overview of solutions that other companies have used and Chevron not yet. I can actually add Chevron to the list. And the list would also include Chevron in here, because the moment you work for one part of Chevron and not to say that you know exactly what has been done across the company, I could add all sorts of companies to here. And of course, naturally, the more companies I would add, the longer the list becomes. And certainly the moment we would do this for your organization, you can actually choose which companies you would like to see listed here. We get the information from the supplier on the basis that they are allowed to mention for which companies they've done business. But based on this, I can very quickly see, hey, this is interesting. Multiple companies have used this or other solution. And from here, I can click on any one of them and I go straight to the platform and I see all these deployment references. So we make it very easy to see what others have done. That may also be an opportunity for your own organization. And the final bit I would like to show you is that, as indicated, we ask all the suppliers to indicate the relative business impact. What you see here are data management solutions with impact on cost and CO2. This quadrant meaning it has significant impact. This quadrant meaning a little bit of impact of both. The moment I click on any one of them, it would go straight to the page on the platform. I can zoom in. I can say, well, I'm particularly interested in things that have been deployed 5 times or so. Instead of cost, I can use safety or production on one of the axes. And again, from here, I can click any one of the bullets, the size of the bubble, meaning the number of deployments done. And if I click on any one of them, it goes straight to the platform. But so really in a nutshell, and that's what this platform does, is that we make it as easy as possible for organizations, for companies to identify solutions with all the challenges. Suppliers use this platform to create visibility. Any supplier can join at no cost, and also any individual user can join this platform at no cost. And governmental organizations like the NSTA And like the Ministry of Foreign Affairs here in the Netherlands, or previously also NGO or a non-profit organization in Australia and others, they've used this to support the matchmaking, to support the ecosystem and make sure that operators in the country have access to the best possible technologies, and that suppliers in the country create ways to have great visibility for their solutions in their own country, but also in other countries. And this way also supporting export opportunities. So this provides an overview, and I would be more than happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Erik. Thank you very much. It was a really clear overview. Until waiting for questions, I would just like to maybe to underline and to clarify once again. So joining the platform, being user or being supplier of any technology is on no cost.
That's right. And so that's at no cost. Any supplier can join the platform, create a page on the platform, like some of the examples I showed, and also have access to some basic functionality. And also any individual end user can join. However, naturally, with a free account, the access is basic because, naturally, we also need to recover the cost for the development of this platform. So some of the features that I also showed you during this demo, like the possibility to share a challenge, that is something that is only available to paying customers. Having said that, and that's also why I gave you the example of the NSTA. So we've also worked with governmental organizations who say, well, we find it important that companies in our country have access to these features, and that we have also come in a couple of cases into agreements with governmental organizations to give any user access to features that would normally be paid features for companies. But there are no hurdles for companies to join, for individuals and for suppliers to join this platform.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So it can be, of course, search and sort it out according to, I don't know, standards which are used, like if it's not ISO standard, then maybe equipment or pipelines are under some other standards, and then searching for particular equipment for that. I can imagine that this can be done easily. So for I saw it that actually comparison between the different technologies for the same problem is done indirectly, like through number of applications, through number of maybe references, but not direct analysis actually of efficiency or price comparison or something like that.
No, and certainly price, we don't do that, because what is shown on this platform is, you can say, a non-sensitive information, and so commercial information, that would be sensitive. But how this platform particularly helps, and that's also what the feedback that we get from our customers, is that it helps to see the wood for the trees. Like, and I can show another example on the platform. You mentioned pipelines. Let's show the pipeline module on the platform. So if I go to from here to pipelines and subsea, in this case, it's bundled. So you actually see close to 300 solutions on the platform. That's obviously a lot. And I also know from my own experience, and no doubt people in the audience, and I welcome the feedback of people in the audience, but the moment you propose a solution to one of your colleagues, typically the first question that you get from a colleague, hey, which companies have already used this? And the second question very often is, who has reviewed this solution? That is at least the my own experience, and that's why we provide users with these filters. These filters, I should say, is part of a paid subscription, but one of the things we're happy to do, and that's an offer we can make to companies, people from companies in this audience, is that we're happy to give you a free trial. And this then immediately gives you the overview and say, hey, of these close to 300 solutions, these 11 have been deployed by Total Energies. And obviously you can also pick companies in this overview from based in your own country or in neighboring countries. And that gives confidence, like in daily life, that we all rely on references in our daily life. At the moment, well, you live in Austria, Carolina, so the moment I would move there and I would ask you, hey, what's a good part of Austria to live? And if you and 5 others all say, hey, that's a good part of Austria, that simple reference, that is what helps. And if you and the same 4 people all say, hey, by all means, avoid that part, I don't know anyone who then goes ahead and buys a house there. If 5 people say, don't do that. But also smaller examples in life, like if I'm new to Austria and I need a plumber, the only thing that you need to hear is this, say, yeah, thumbs up from your neighbor saying, hey, this is a good plumber, I can recommend calling the person. And that's how we take decisions in our daily life. And that's how this platform works as well, to immediately help you to make a short list. Because if you see here, yeah, if I go back to the full overview and 298 solutions, you can't ask your people or ask from yourself to do an in-depth analysis of all these 300 solutions, but by saying, hey, the criteria is that as a minimum, the technology should have been deployed by a couple of companies in our own area. That immediately helps to downsize the list to whatever 10 or 20 or 30 to a manageable number, and from there you can zoom in. And as indicated, you can ask for deployment references, so I can actually sort them based on references. And let me just click this example for the sake of example. I see here an example from in this case an end user from an energy company, and this is only one review in this case, but you can ask the supplier, hey, can you please give me a couple of more reviews, and can you please help me to get in contact with those people? And if a couple of people say, hey, this is a good solution, it still doesn't mean it also applies to your company. But if 3 people say this is a great solution and all these companies have used the solution, well, that is then likely something to spend time on. So that's how it works. So we help to zoom in via deployment references, but naturally, the moment you have made a shortlist, you still need to do the analysis where that also applies for your asset. If you need help with that, we can connect you with experts in our network. But in most cases, the analysis whether the solution is of relevance to the company, that is something that companies prefer to do themselves.
So actually, it means the companies who are using particular technology or putting review there, they can be contacted through the platform to check really experience or maybe particular details or so on.
Absolutely. So you can, in most cases, there's a LinkedIn profile there. And if it's missing, because some people are not on LinkedIn, you can also ask supplier, hey, can you please get me in contact with this review provider? And the supplier, they have a clear incentive to make those connections, because the reviews help to support their claims. And as an end user, it is extremely valuable to have a conversation with other users that have experience. So absolutely.
Yeah, this is great added value. I mean, added layer as well on the platform.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking loudly, inviting everybody to put the question, because I see that we have people from the ministries, but also from the companies online. So don't be shy. I mean, keep questions and raise them, or you will have the contacts anyhow at the end of slides. But still thinking and to kind of underline and clarify. So when somebody is searching for particular, maybe let's put it methodology, or finding the solution, not knowing actually maybe which technology shall be applied, this goes under the challenges. This is how I understood.
Yeah, that's right. And why companies like this so much is because challenges are hardly ever unique. Of course, sometimes a company or a country has challenges that are truly unique to the country. But in most cases, similar challenges exist in other countries as well. And like we met at the methane mitigation event in Amsterdam, Carolina, and so there were people from all over the place, because methane mitigation is not something that is unique to one country or one company. And whenever you have a challenge as a company, by asking this question on the platform, and we have a community around the globe of over 10,000 users, the chances are very high that there is someone out there who has already developed such a solution. And we literally have people all around the globe. And the system is fast. The moment you post a question, it's shared with our global community. And suppliers submit solutions directly. Sometimes the solutions come from independent experts. It also happens that people working for other companies, similar companies, they share knowledge, just as well that knowledge is being shared at the event that we both attended, Carolina, the methane mitigation event. And so solutions can come in. And actually, and that's one of the offers we're happy to make. So the share your challenge feature, that is part of a paid subscription, but we're happy to give those of you in the call, any company, the opportunity to take a free trial, including the opportunity to share a challenge, so you can see for yourself what it does. And I can say also, the moment you would decide to enter into a subscription with us, and the fees that apply to this platform are, I can just say, way lower to the alternatives, and we can simply do that because of the whole platform setup. So it's using platforms is very cost effective compared to alternatives like attending too many exhibitions or hiring scouting firms. And of course, exhibitions are very useful at times, and conferences. That's also how we got in touch. But hey, there's a limit how many exhibition conferences you can attend. Most of you probably do go to an exhibition or have been to exhibitions in the past, but I don't know anyone who goes to an exhibition every week or every month. That is probably too much. And if you're working for an energy operator,
yes, and actually technologies are coming and coming every week, a new one, I mean, I would say, and then many solutions are coming. I mean, I'm just thinking in terms of our contracting parties and thinking about actually gas networks which are in place. So I would really invite all of you online and to invite your colleagues as well. I mean, check the platform, check what would be really useful for you, because I'm just thinking about common regular things like, of course, distribution pipelines, transmission pipelines, and then measurement of quality, measurement of quantities in different conditions, but then also some specific, maybe tiny networks in closed systems in the cities, close to industrial, whatever, old facilities which are not in use. I mean, many different things, maybe different conditions from environment and so on, so on. So please check it, the platform. It's, I mean, it's free to try. Check slides, check recording what we did it, think about it, and come back to us both. I mean, either to Eric directly or to the secretariat. And now, last chance for the for the questions.
And what I can already do in the meantime is, let me put it in the chat box, the link to the platform and also my my email. And I would be more than happy to give another demo. If you would like to also involve some colleagues, please contact me. And also the slides will be made available, the slides that I used today. And but more than happy to give a demo to you and colleagues, and so happy to follow, to continue the dialogue.
That is great. It was good presentation, great presentation, and good offer. And I believe that we will stay in contact, because more and more requirements are coming in front of companies, even if they don't think right now about particular requirement or solution which has to be put in place. It will come. And we will continue also with this webinar, finding very different different types of presentations, and because different knowledge is and experience is already there, and it's great to actually to share with the gas industry and gas community of the energy community and wider. So thank you very much. Thank you all for participating, and thank you very much, Eric, for excellent structured presentation. So we will share the slides, we will share the records, and for now, good afternoon to everyone, and great week in front of us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.